Hello and welcome everyone to my Let's Play Painkiller, the Battle Out of Hell expansion. This is 115 speaking. Wow, it's been precisely 4 months to this very day since I uploaded my last video, that being the lab over here. My life has just been an insane roller coaster, but I finally reached a stable point, so I'm gonna try and do as much recording as I can, whilst I can. Okay, but enough about my life, this is not the kind of channel. Back to the game. What awaits us is the Pentagon level. And as you might guess by the card unlocking status, this will be a boss fight level. So basically, after 3 actual full levels, for the change of pacing, we get a boss fight level. Then that will be followed by 5 more actual full-fledged levels, followed by a final boss fight. It's basically a nice variation added to the pacing of the expansion overall. So, last time we received the Scepter golden card, and as I mentioned by the end of that previous video, this makes all enemies die as if they had just 1 HP, die in 1 hit. However, this does not apply to bosses, and being the smart people we are, we can figure out that what awaits us is just a battle with Penta Spider, who we have to kill in no more than 4 minutes. This means time will be kind of our greatest commodity here. Therefore, we are going to adjust accordingly. So I had quite a lot of fun with the expansion cards in the previous level, but let's put them back, because time is important here. So, we want to finish him as fast as we can. Therefore, instead of using the Scepter, which is good on normal enemies, on bosses we have to stay with our Fury, dealing 4 times more damage. To make that even more powerful, let's combine it with Dexterity, of course, like we used to in the old times. And now, for that final effect, to save up as much time as we possibly can, and also make things easier to hit, we're gonna equip Triple Haste. So this is kind of the ultimate combination for defeating bosses as efficiently as possible. Now, of course, we want to be able to use these 3 times, and we can get rid of Soul Catcher, as there will be no souls in this level. Instead, we will get our hands on Blessing, something that we used to always have equipped on Trauma difficulty. Hero Nightmare, not so much, but for the boss fight purposes, this is really great, because the spider can kill us almost instantly. So, with these cards equipped, let's get into the battle. Okay, and there we are. Very brief loading screen on our part. Now, okay, this is very stressful. We have to do several things in a particular order to be most efficient here. Now, here is the bastard, who has several attacks up his sleeve. However, one of these attacks is extremely useful, as we will have to reach the higher area up top on the boxes in order to reach the one secret in this level. That's the attack I'm talking about. Good, and this basically works just like the Guardian slamming his ginormous hammer onto the ground in the end of the 3rd chapter in the original game. So basically, we'll want him to do... Oh shit, rockets incoming, let's hide. Okay. So we want him to slam the ground to be able to reach the higher areas. In the meantime, I guess we can tease him a little by shooting, but really, that's not really a priority. If we want to get all the golden stars and kill him in 4 minutes, let's first focus on getting those stars. I guess for these distances, SMG might be most useful, but okay, here we are. We finally got our hands on that health pack. Now, this area, there is so much stuff going on here with the spider itself, who we are very keen on ignoring, just to get our hands on those ammunition boxes. But now, the reason I'm doing things in this particular order is that I first want to get my hands on the inferior armor to be able to collect the superior golden one without having to necessarily damage ourselves. Now we have all 5 golden stars and we can focus on this bastard, introducing the new weapon, Electro Driver, which I mistook for another bolt gun. If you remember, in the lab level, we actually picked it up when we reached the top of the silo. I completely forgot that this is an Electro Driver we are picking up, not another bolt gun. And bolt gun you don't want to be using whilst the time is slowed down, because this slows down the weapon. Okay, now we can only bring his total health to half, because afterwards he will generate these electromagnetic shields that will protect him, make him invincible, and also deal damage if you're in close vicinity. Oh my god. Okay, so first let's wait for his placement, because he will try to regenerate his health, being the bastard he is. So let's wait for that opening, and when he starts, shoot him in the mouth. Now let's just slow time to make sure we make it to the red light in time, and approach this huge cannon to fire a shell, which will hopefully at some point reach this bastard and bring his electric shields down. And this is basically a process that we'll have to repeat again. Without those shields, he's once again invincible. Just pick whatever weapon you want, and then bring his health down to almost 0 so that he will summon his shields up again. Basically, as you can see up here, this is a Pentagon arena. Oh my goodness gracious. And there are 5 of these cannons all around. Now, the way they're aligned and where they are actually aiming is really confusing, but whenever he starts recharging his shields, just don't go to the light behind him, but instead always go to the right. The right cannon is always the one and only which is correctly aligned to be able to hit him. The other ones would never have him in the correct position. The way these cannons are aligned are kind of along the edges of the Pentagon-shaped arena, so theoretically if he'd be in the middle, he'd be untouchable. But being the idiot he is, he just got hit by one of those cannons, and that's the end of the Penta Spider. Torn to pieces. Oh my goodness. This is pretty disgusting actually. He's a spider with flesh inside, with tarantula hair growing on his limbs, and a giant maw. I'm an arachnophobic, by the way, so yeah, I do not particularly like Penta Spider, but I appreciate the effort they did into making him as disgusting as possible. Now, with that in mind, we managed to kill him in 2.5 minutes and also unlock all the golden stars, so yay, success! Let's see what the reward is. Health regeneration. Health starts regenerating 10 seconds after the last damage. Now, there is a reason why this silver card, mind you, not just golden one, so passively, constantly in effect, costs 1,500 gold coins, and that is because it is pretty powerful. What this basically means is that whenever your health is beneath 75, it will start regenerating to 75, which of course takes a few seconds, it's not instantaneous heal. But 10 seconds after the last damage from an enemy. That means if you receive an environmental damage, let's say from explosive barrel or drop into a vat of acid, like let's say in Looney Park, the health will start regenerating immediately. So it's even better than it actually sounds. And 75 points of health, now that is a decent amount on difficulties like Nightmare or Trauma, especially with no souls. This is an endless supply of health. This is extremely valuable. Basically, think about it like, you know, your health regenerating to 100 on Insomnia difficulty each time you reach a checkpoint. Well, in this case, whenever you're 10 seconds outside of combat, after not being hit, so actually even within combat, if you're skillful enough, your health will go back to 75. This is extremely valuable, and I think we'll have a very important use for this card in a future level, which has a particular total health card unlocking requirement. But later about that. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful, and I'll see you guys next time in Death City.